behind story interview. Have you all watched it?
Yes. Well, I watched the hour-long one. I haven't
Yeah.
watched the individual ones that were
Yeah, I
released
think
today.
it's just like a couple question added because all of the interviews were approximately 10-12 minutes.
Right.
So, yeah.
I really loved this like chill sort of them asking each other questions. I don't know, it felt like we were getting like new answers and new questions, you know, like
Yeah.
it felt like I don't know how to explain it.
I felt like it not necessarily wrap, but kind of wrap the release of B really well because they talked about a lot of their creative process. Like we know how June and Yoongi and a bit of how Hobie works, but the vocal line we haven't really heard about it before.
Yeah.
Not that much anyway. And so being able to see how they worked on the album and hear it from them
Yeah.
and just them interviewing each other instead of like having someone from the outside do it just felt really refreshing, and it felt like we were just like chilling and talking about work, and it
Yeah.
was just so fun.
It was nice. I'm curious to know like if they if like they were the ones who chose who they were going to interview and how like that whole
Yeah, I
process
saw
was.
Jin and Jimin together and I was like,
It's going to be crackhead
yeah,
central. And it was.
it was just like the photo cards.
Oh my god.
I almost had like a sleepy heart because like popped up on my Google, and then I got like a Twitter notification, and then it said the teaser is trending, and then but it's not like I almost had like a clown moment because I was just like, no. Full disclosure, I haven't watched like the full thing. I've watched some of it. And I always say this because I'm just like, Big Hit is like lurking on Twitter somewhere because for Namjoon's friend. I think that like the interview was something that I wanted to see them do for a very, very long time. But I guess oh my god. Sorry.
Just a like exclamation mark.
Like I think the garbage truck like no, I think it kind of like gave us like a look into a deeper look into to their creative process, and it was even like more meaningful. They were the ones who were interviewing each other, and like it was like new stuff, like things we never heard before, like when you use like he wants to do like folk music, and he wanted to try out like a new
I saw on
and then
Twitter
he wants to do like
D3 folk edition coming at you soon.
I also love like Namjoon saying like I want to do like a collab with like Jin and Jimin because I haven't done that before. Like I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah. Or just JK talking
things
about
like that.
him working on his mixtape, like
and B doing the same.
JK being all
It's
out
like
there being like, oh, I'm ready for like 3 MVs, 3 different choreography, like let's go. Like
I was like, all right, boy.
Chill out.
It's like I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh no. It's like things like that where like Namjoon's like, well, I still want to like work with you guys like within the group because like they've been together for like so long. You'd think that it would all be like exhausted by now, but like they really, really enjoy working together.
They enjoy each other's company even when they don't work. Like it shows.
Like I always like enjoy them talking about like how they create their music and their different creative processes because I think it's like fascinating, like getting to
honestly they could just talk to me about their day and I would listen to it.
Yeah,
no, like when Yoongi said like, yeah, like I'll just be like doing nothing, and then I'm like, oh, let me just create some songs. Just
Yeah.
Like, good. My creative process is like, you know, like a workhorse. I have to like constantly be doing it or like working at it. Like, I can't, it doesn't come out of nowhere.
Yeah, I have to kick myself out of bed to go to work.
I saw this very interesting TED talk that's very similar to creative processes. It's by the author who wrote Eat, Pray, Love. What is her name?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Jillian something, maybe? Sounds familiar?
Right. The film stars Julia Roberts and Elizabeth Gilbert.
Right.
Yeah.
So Elizabeth actually did a TED talk specifically on creativity and her creative process. And honestly, go and watch it because it's fascinating. Like the way that she views creativity and like the way that other examples or other people that that she was like speaking about in this TED talk. It's very fascinating to me, like creative processes, because just in the way that like some people can just like pick it out of thin air. Like one of her examples was this poet. I don't remember the name of the poet, but she was saying that she would feel a poem coming across the field and she would have to go and run into her house, and then the poem would like come through her and she'd be dictating it like backwards to forwards and then transcribing it, and then if it like left her without her in time reaching, then it would be gone forever. And I'm just like, wow, like that's such a interesting like way of viewing the creative process and like how you view that, because like for Elizabeth, her what she was saying in the TED talk is like her creative process is very much like that workhorse. Like you have to get up and you have to do it at a certain period of time. It doesn't just like come out of nowhere. She has to constantly be working at it. And it's fascinating to me, these like creative processes. So like to hear their breakdowns of those processes and how they view those things was fascinating to me.
Yeah, you know, like I'm like a huge fan of Beyonce, and like it's so like, every time she speaks, she's like, yeah, like I dreamt this performance and then I brought it to life. Like she sees things in her dreams, and then she just like works at it and then brings those things to life, and that's great. Like it's like one thing to like dream about something, it's another thing to be like, oh, okay, I had this dream, so I'm going to turn it into a whole performance. And that's how
it's fascinating because like Elizabeth, like back in like ancient Greek times, there was you as like a person were not considered a genius. You had a genius, so like you got taken over by a genius, you know, instead of like all of that pressure being on you. If you were not a genius, that was your genius's fault. That was like, you know, like that was their fault, you know, like you weren't put on the pressure of being the genius. You just had a genius. And that's so fascinating to have that like separation between like genius and like yourself as a person, you know, because you have so much pressure to be like the next big thing or like to do better next time, or like all those kind of stuff pile up, which is why like, you know, being an artist is not the easiest thing, because you're always trying to improve yourself or do better or be the next greatest thing, you know, and it's not easy, which is why a lot of us are alcoholics.
I'm not. Just to
I'm not. Just like sorry.
My face.
Yeah. I'm not.
I was gonna say something, but I don't know if I should if I can say it.
Okay, so I laughed
just
halfway through that, okay? Because I saw Gabby put her artist in the doc, and it was just so big. The font was huge, so I'm just here laughing. I don't know, because I'm trying to order my lunch at the same time, okay? Multitasking. And I just see Gabby appear like, bam!
No, like I was like thinking like just brought up alcohol, and then I was saying, and then I thought this thought I was like, yeah, that's why like some artists take substances to bring them to a higher sense of reality, so that they can connect with their art better.
Yep. Yeah, that happens way more often than you would think. which is why like I bring up that like genius thing, because like to have that separation and to like and like in the TED Talk, Elizabeth actually like tries this. She's like, when I was writing Eat, Pray, Love, I actually like talked to my genius. I was like, listen, if you want this book to be great, you're gonna have to help me out here. You know, like talking to that to that like demon in the corner of like, it's, if this fails, it's not just my fault. You know?
Well, while we're talking about like creative processes, can I talk a bit about translation while we're at it? Because a lot of people, there's it's either black or white for people when it comes to translation. It's either, oh, we don't need translator, like the machine can do it and whatever. It's not a creative process. It's just like putting one word from a language to the other. And then you have the people who thinks that we are not, I don't want to shit on people doing like art and stuff like that. I like, those are some of the best people I know. But like people like immediately put us in the same basket as people doing like people wanting to become artists. Like when I was back in college, 1 year I helped my department and my program to promote the language program back in college. And literally, like a girl was visiting with her dad and she wanted to come to her booth, and her dad said, no, you're gonna end up like without a job if you go there. In our face, like he didn't even try to hide it. And so I'm trying to make a point here and I'm losing my train of thought. But yeah, it is a mix of the two. Not that you're gonna end without a job. It takes time, like any other job where you need to put your creativity forward. Translation is just comes from you loving language and their history, because it's more than just knowing the language. A big part of learning one's language is knowing the culture.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know that. When I got in college, first semester, we had the equivalent of like 3 classes in my program. And by the second year, we only had 1 class with less than 20 students. So a lot of people are like, oh, it's easy to get into languages. It's going to be easy peasy. Don't worry about it. And then I can like do whatever I want in university. And midway through the first semester, they drop out because it is a creative process, and your brain is not going to be using the same thing as someone like using like doing construction, or it is very part of the creative side. And I guess I just wanted to talk about it because it's misunderstood a lot. People think that we will all be replaced by machines,
Can I add something to your point?
Yeah.
No, so I just want to say that, like, first of all, it is an asset to like know more than one language and be able to like translate that language effectively, because we're in the midst of like globalization and the world is getting smaller, and the more languages you know, the better it is in the job market for you, because that's one point. And then number two, in terms of like translating, like I can speak Dutch, like I know a bit of like Dutch culture, but I can't translate nothing for nobody. Sorry. Like
that's
there's
a big
like
misconception. People think that because they know both language, they are able to like they can be a translator. Like I literally went to school. Like
listen,
if I count college, I went to school for 5.5 years to become a translator.
listen, I can speak Dutch, like I know Dutch, like whatever. I can't translate nothing for nobody. So like I can have like a conversation in Dutch with a Dutch person, and I can give like I can like give like a summary and give footnotes of what someone is saying, but I can't like I can't translate for you. And then there's also the point that like there's like there are subtle things in language that like computers like cannot recognize. Look at Google Translate. I say
you should see the amount of bad translation people send my way.
Listen, there's like a lot of like cultural subtext. There's slang, like, and a lot of like there's like a lot of like nuances that like that you have to like know in order to like accurately like translate something. And on that point, if I see any more slander of BTS translators,
no.
We're not this is what we're not going to be doing, because if you have a problem with people could literally just be sitting at home and translating their just like watching V lives and having fun. These people take time out of their day, take like to like actively try to like help us understand what is going on. And if y'all cannot recognize that, then just go learn just like learn Korean with BTS and then just start. Because what, like, talk about biting the hand that feeds you, and you're gonna get translations on live in about 24 hours. So just can we just like calm down?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this, because we're talking about creativity and we're talking about like some sort of, I don't want to put this at this in the same spot as like other types of injustice, but it's still type of injustice. I don't know why I have
it's just it's just like people could just be watching BTS.
Yeah, I don't listen, total props to the translators who are translating all that stuff for us on a daily basis.
Speaking of translator, have you guys seen Run On Netflix?
No.
It's a K-drama, and the main female, her job is she's a translator and an interpreter. And she represent the job so well. So it's a very good K-drama. Like, it's a very good K-drama, don't get me wrong. But I got into it so much more because it wasn't just them like going on the surface of what translation is, but they actually showed her working and all the process, the creative process that goes into it. And I feel like if you want to have a good idea of what it is, and you want to also enjoy TV series at the same time, it's a good one.
Just like leave people alone.
Just live your life.
I'm just like, we are in the trench. If this is what it's come to, we are in the trenches. But what? I was like, wait, what? But yeah, just like leave people alone.
I just hate that I have to. Okay, I just hate that I have to justify my career to people. Like, yes, I still work in pharmacy. Just understands.
Got it every day.
But yeah,
every goddamn day.
I've been wanting to be a translator since I was 12. I am 24 now, and I have the ability to be a translator. And so, if you cannot respect my work, you can get the fuck out.